Unlocking the Soul, hosted by Rob Simperman and produced by Simplify Films. Episodes cover mature and controversial themes. Consider this when deciding whether and when to watch.
37. Ascension Tips. At a high level, Ascension requires you to consider your past and current personalities like characters in a movie you have watched. Dr. Joshua David Stone says, "It is not real. Once you begin to let go of these programs, these characters, these identities that you have made, your natural state will have been returned. Your real self will reemerge, and you will ascend." Easier said than done, right? Here's another way to say that according to Ascended Master Sai Baba. God equals man minus ego, and we're told that to solve for God in this equation, the proper approach is to subtract the negative ego from it, which is a term that refers to the aspect of the ego that acts for self-serving motivation and causes fear, emotion, unhappiness, and misery. Still not clear? Well, Dr. Stone's books include a list of 147 concrete tips, some of which you could spend a lifetime mastering. I'm going to go through a few key tips here, plus list some other credible sources, but feel free to dive in for more. Number 1. Meditate daily. This one may seem obvious, but every source I reviewed highlights meditation as a key step. As Stone says, prayer is talking to God, meditation is listening to and experiencing God. He describes the real work as not just attuning to the soul, but holding your focus there. We are advised not to let our emotions push us around. We should remember that we are God, and as such, we can choose our emotions. Mastery of this point is a key to, quote, longer periods of inner peace, tranquility, and joy. He further suggests meditation with sacred phrases, such as, "Beloved God and God Force, I now call forth my soul to fully descend into my consciousness and my four-body system. I am that I am. Om." Number 2, learn to forgive in the fullest sense. Perhaps the most important message that Jesus came here to teach us was to turn the other cheek, to forgive rather than seek vengeance or petty ego revenge. He taught that God always forgives those who seek forgiveness. That is our example, even through Jesus' last words, seeking forgiveness for his killers. Guy Needler is a leading author and channel of the Source Entity, basically the spirit of our universe. On this point, the Source Entity tells us that ultimate feeling and ultimate knowing is based on ultimate forgiveness. Needler recounts, quote, "No matter how big or how small the wrongdoing is, and no matter how personal it may seem, learn to forgive in the fullest sense." He explains that the wise person sees being wronged as an opportunity for evolutionary progress. That's done by forgiveness without any further thought on the matter, fully letting it go. And for those who see your actions as being taken advantage of, you also get the opportunity to demonstrate to them the thought process of forgiveness. Help them stop lowering their own frequency by taking on karmic attachment to those who harm them. Forgiveness makes this possible. Number 3, devotion to your own higher self. You have free will, so make high-frequency decisions, but don't beat yourself up over them. We have conscience, intuition, and get hints from our soul and other helpers in the spirit world to help us make positive decisions. So don't fret too much if you act in a negative way. Guy Needler's Source Entity reminds us that sometimes we won't make the optimal choice for our own growth. However, he tells us, quote, "It's their evolution and they can do what they want with it. Even if they don't follow the hints given to them, they still contribute to the greater cause and are still continuing to evolve. It's only they haven't taken the optimal route that has been presented to them." He goes on to say that every possibility of our actions has been foreseen as a path that could have been taken, and in fact has been taken in a sense, making every possible path perfect. It's all part of the intended experience. Remember that we're being rewarded for performance on one of the hardest things a soul can do, descending into the lowest vibration levels for the purpose of experiencing the universe for the benefit of the collective. So don't beat yourself up about what you consider a mistake. Number 4, live a life of simplicity. Guy Needler suggests that living a life of simplicity is a very important way to raise one's frequency to support ascension, so that free time can be used to benefit others. But he also warns against doing charitable work for self-aggrandizement. This cautionary theme is not new. The Shambhala Buddhist founder I studied for several years, Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche, wrote the book called Cutting Through Spiritual Materialism in 1973 to warn us specifically against the misuse of spiritual practices for personal or material gain, such as power, money, or fame. Number 5, take advantage of Earth's spiritual growth opportunities. There's a common misconception that we're all down here on Earth flailing our physical arms in confusion of life, but when we get to the afterlife, we'll become spiritually evolved beings. And true, we do get to see more of the big picture after death, but we come to the physical lower planes to develop on our paths. So we're reminded to make as much progress as we can on our spiritual path now, here in life. Here we have temptations to overcome, loved ones to worry about, and numerous ways to get distracted by the material. We are told to focus on liberation and God realization. The more we keep our focus on unconditional love, forgiveness, and service to humankind, the more progress we make. There's even an interesting description of virtual cities in the afterlife, where people who share a certain strong-held belief about the afterlife, such as a certain religion, they manifest those religious experiences for the afterlife. They experience them between lifetimes, even numerous times, until they're ready to learn the true form of the spirit world reality with an open mind. That's fascinating. Number 6, use death as an ascension shortcut. Each life is key, but here's an ironic twist. The death event is an important test that can accelerate spiritual growth, perhaps more than any other event in each lifetime. The death experience is like a final exam for a life, with an outsized influence on your class grade, so plan death carefully. This is supported by the Bhagavad Gita and the Christian ritual of last rites, and even Indian funerals that involve a 2-week period of mourning followed by a final send-off to help the soul move on, if still lingering. There are 3 options for moving on at death. The most advantageous to the soul is to immediately merge with the white light upon death. Like we hear in many near-death experiences, a soul can go into the light, embrace it. It allows the Kundalini life essence to exit through a higher chakra and is thus a big step toward ascension for this life. Number 2, the next best option is to linger a bit, but then enter the light voluntarily during the 3-day Bardo period. You don't get this boost, but you do get progress. Number 3, the worst for ascension is to drag your feet, to be distracted by or even obsessed with your attachments to the previous life, the physical world. In that case, there are also specialist souls able to assist the souls that miss their window, but it's more like a remedial class than graduating with honors. And here's another tip for entering the light that Dr. Stone gives. The final thought one has before death influences the plane or level one reaches after death. Think of it how your last thought before you sleep can influence your dreams. If you die worried about regrets or unfinished family matters, you will linger on earth in those thoughts and miss this opportunity. He actually describes numerous death rituals to help the soul ascend. For example, cremation helps hasten the release of the personality and gives your soul closure once there is no longer a body to dwell upon. And number 7, reach out to ascended masters during meditation. So make your request to ascend to, for example, Sanat Kumara during meditation. Sanat Kumara is an advanced being at the cosmic level of initiation who's regarded as the Lord or Regent of Earth and humanity. Ascension is in his domain, even if it is managed more closely by Maitreya. Ask an accessible ascended master such as Vaiwamis to join you as you work on your ascendancy and to connect you properly to the other 11 soul extensions. You can even extend to all 144 soul extensions of your monad. So work smarter, not harder, Dr. Stone reminds us, since there's an aspect of yourself that is already ascended, since all time is simultaneous. So only one of the 12 soul extensions needs to ascend to bring the other 11 extensions along. So accelerate your own ascension by calling your ascended already aspect back to the present to blend with your current aura. You must ask for this to occur, showing the higher self that you're ready to receive it. Ask to spiritually visit one of the ascension chambers during meditation or sleep, of which there are many. We can visit these places to receive pulsed energy to raise our vibration, such as beneath Mount Shasta, in the Great Pyramid of Giza, and more. Ask your soul and monad to create and spin your personal Merkaba, an energy structure that you can access through meditation. This is related to the skill of dematerializing and rematerializing. Shortly, I'll present some of my interview with author and mystic Maureen St. Germain, who is a leading expert on the Merkaba energy structure. Next, ask for the building of the 12-strand DNA in the etheric body. This prepares your etheric body for ascension, not to be confused with the 2-strand DNA detectable in our physical bodies. That won't necessarily change. We've learned how the soul is a sliver of all that is, and how its soul extensions experience their numerous lives, how they recombine with the soul when ready, and how to raise frequency and invite the soul to merge. So ascension is what we're here for. It's why you exist with individuality. And from a perspective, it's already happened. So relax. You've got this. Yes, ascension is an event, but it's also a journey. And it may be assured, but it's not easy. Remember that we're not on a one-way escalator up. We ascend or slip back every day, every minute, based on thoughts we think, the words we speak, the food we eat, and how we spend our time. So let's leave this topic with a reminder that anyone can wake up at any instant. That's because any being that exists has the right to awaken, the purpose even. Those who are on the fence about this ability are yet unaware of their own power. But all are helped by humanity reaching a critical mass. As each person becomes aware of the higher planes, the Christ consciousness, and the connections among us, it guides others on their own way to awakening. To quote every airline flight attendant and safety video ever, put on your own oxygen mask first, before helping others.